Hello, everybody. My name is Janine Brooks. I serve as a self advocate for the Autism Society of Nebraska. I also lead the Silent Book Club for awesome readers and introverts. Today, I would like to spend some time with you reading a favorite story that I enjoy. Why, look who's come to join me. Bob, did you wish to have a good night's story before you go to bed? Do you want to hear a chicken in the kitchen? Why, why not? We can read this to all of the participants in the Omaha Fun Festival. What say you? Chicken in the Kitchen is written by Nettie Okafor. It's Chicken in the Kitchen is written by Nettie Okafor and illustrated by Murdoch Amini. It is a beautifully illustrated story with a world overtone to it. I hope that you enjoy it just as much as Bob and I do. What would you do if you woke up one night to find the shadow of a giant chicken passing your bedroom door? Well, unless you live with chickens, you would go and investigate, of course. When Aniago follows a giant chicken into her kitchen one warm night in Nigeria, she embarks on a fun-filled adventure where nothing is quite as it seems. Is the nature spirit that lives in the wooden walls of her house a help or a hindrance? Is the mischievous giant chicken a friend or a foe? More importantly, will Aniago be able to save the food for her aunties have cooked for the new Yam Festival the next day? And as you can see, this book belongs to Bob, Bob the chicken that you just met. It is beautifully illustrated, and here is a hand-drawn picture of the chicken looking down at Aniago. And as you can see, it is written and dedicated to Bob, and Janine Brooks. And this scribbly line here is the author's signature. Nettie dedicates this book to her daughter, who is named Aniago. She loves chickens, adventure, and meeting interesting people. It sounds like a few people I know. It's also dedicated by the illustrator to his grandmother, Banu. Let's go ahead and take a look at the book. We have it here, The Chicken in the Kitchen. It is nighttime, as you can see, and it looks like we have the shadow of a chicken looking in the doorway here. And as you can see, here is Aniago, and she has gone to sleep, or is trying to go sleep. It was a late night. A noise had woken Aniago. She climbed out of bed and crept quietly towards the kitchen. Bob, what do you think Aniago saw in the kitchen? Would you be worried if she saw anything in the kitchen that she shouldn't be seeing? Huh? What do you think she saw? Look, there is Aniago, and look at this feathery mess. Why, look, it is definitely a chicken, and the chicken has pulled out some of the vegetables in the kitchen. Oh my, Aniago whispered. What was she going to do? There was a giant chicken in the kitchen. It was going to spoil the food her mother and aunties had cooked for the new Yam Festival the next day. She had to do something. Buck, 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 said the chicken happily. And there is Aniago looking in on that chicken. And Aniago is still looking. She's peering behind the door as she looks on at the chicken. The new yam festival marked the beginning of the harvest season. It was a time for being thankful, dancing, seeing friends and family, and of course, eating lots of yams. What is wrong with it? Aniago wondered. The chicken was causing a lot of mischief, and Aniago wished she knew where her friend the woodwit was. He was a nature spirit. He would know what to do. The chicken is just getting into everything. It's here in the kitchen, and now it's pulling the flour out of the cabinet. Aniago tried to muster up some courage. I'm going to just tell it to leave. Or maybe not. It was time to get help from the woodwit. Look at the mess this chicken has caused. There's flour all over the place now. Where is it? Aniago wondered. The woodwit could travel through anything made of wood. It could be almost anywhere. Maybe it was playing outside in the coconut trees. If so, she would never be able to find it. So Aniago kept exploring the house and finally made it to the bathroom. Are you in there? Aniago called. There you are, Aniago said. There you are, the woodwit said. It laughed. Ha ha ha! You have a chicken in your kitchen and you want to get rid of it. How do you know? I know everything that the wood knows, the woodwit said. Aniago didn't understand what the woodwit meant, but that didn't matter. The woodwit was always saying odd things like that. Will you help me? Sure, I love being helpful. Bob, do you like to be helpful? What are some things you like to do from time to time to help out around the house? Oh, you like to wake people up in the morning. That's rather helpful. Well, let's see what the woodwit can do to help. Whiz, crash, bam. Wow, this chicken's making an awful lot of noise. It looks quite annoyed, the woodwit said. Whatever have you done to it? I didn't do anything, Aniago insisted. How can I make it leave? Ask it, the woodwit said, but ask it in Chickenese. But I don't speak Chickenese, cried Aniago. Say buck buck cluck, the woodwit suggested, but you have to say it just right. It burst out laughing, amused with itself. Aniago lifted her chin, clenched her fists, and said, Bob, what do you think she said? Oh, you think she said buck buck cluck? Yeah, buck buck cluck. Aniago went into the kitchen and she approached the chicken. And what do you think she said? Hello. The chicken flashed the sunniest, shiniest smile Aniago had ever seen. Then the woodwit began to hum. It sounded like three voices and a soft drum beat. It was with the sound of the drum beat that Aniago understood. How had she not guessed it? This was more than a chicken. Buck, buck, it said softly. It was asking her to dance. Later that night, when Aniago finally went to bed, she smiled to herself. Her father had told her about the powerful masquerade spirits that came to participate in the new yam festival. Masquerades visited the community during festivals, ceremonies, and events. Some were spirits of the elements, like the land and water. Others were ancestors returning to dance, showing that death was a natural part of life. This one must have come for a midnight snack. In the morning, Aniago went to the festival where she hung out with her family and her friends and her mother. At the new yam festival the next day, Aniago ate several yam dishes and saw some of the biggest yams she had ever seen. But throughout, she watched many wonderful masquerades perform. Unfortunately, she did not see the chicken masquerade among them until Bob. When do you think she saw the chicken during the daytime at the yam festival? Can you give me an idea? Yo, you're not sure she saw the chicken? Do you think the chicken was hiding? Oh, well, let's find out, Bob. Why, look, it's the end. We have no more pages after this. Can you see the chicken in the masquerade? How is the chicken dressed? Let me show you in case you're not able to see the chicken in disguise. Bok, bok, cluck, make sounds of chickens in your life. Bob and I would like to thank you for listening to us read his favorite story. We hope that you sure enjoy this virtual fun fest here that the Autism Society is hosting, and we thank you for listening to our story. Bob Seger really appreciated this picture of the chicken. He thought it emulated many of the fine chickens that he knows. This picture was drawn by Jake Jones, age 7. Jake, Bob intends to send you a copy of the book, Chicken in the Kitchen, that you can enjoy with your family.